tell you good night, 'cause I'll find a better one. Yeah, susceptible now before the moment flies. Ooh, so tell you good night, 'cause I'll find a better one. Ooh, susceptible now before the moment flies. It's not a problem, no, 'cause I know what I'm getting into. Yes. Yeah. And nothing can stop me, no, 'cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell you good night, 'cause I'll find a better one. Yeah, susceptible now before the moment flies. Before it flies. So tell you good night, 'cause I'll find a better one. Susceptible now before the moment flies. Yeah.
Hey guys, thank you for joining us on another episode of the Waiting Table Podcast, where we have roundtable discussions about the hottest topics in weight loss, with, of course, the coolest people from the bariatric community. I'm Rob, we got Murph, we got Shay, and we got you guys. So grab a chair, wind down from your busy day, and take a seat at the table. Let's get it, Shay.
What's up? Sorry for the clunky intro. I don't know why I could not hear you guys. We did it so good before too. I'm like, dang it.
I
Oh
know,
well.
we should redo it.
I know. We did it. We practiced it, guys. I swear.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome.
I don't know what happened.
Thanks for being here. I thought I would kick it off. We're talking today all about Ask Us Anything. And I thought I would kick it off with the first question. So we put out questions. We have a bunch that we got back from you guys. So thank you for that. But one question that didn't make it on the list that I was actually pretty disappointed about was, do you guys even like school? I thought that would be a great question to start off with.
Oh God, NG.
And I think that was directed to me. I don't know. It came up on mine. I also was asked how tall I am twice, and shout me out.
Yeah.
Which was interesting because the link had been down for a while. So I think
I think it was the bot, but I don't know.
I think it's just some bot games going on so that we want to buy the app to find out who it is. You know,
have you ever
like that,
cheated?
but...
Don't be honest. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So I am curious though. I mean, maybe that's kind of a weird way to ask it, but did you guys like school growing up or not, or were you guys not fans?
I loved school. High school was amazing for me. It was, I absolutely loved being there. I loved all the friends. I loved the social aspect. And university was okay. So university in Canada, college, the same thing, right? It was okay. It wasn't as fun. I didn't enjoy it as much. But yeah, high school was amazing. I loved it. I miss it.
I was not a good student. I mean, I was homeschooled up till fourth grade, and had really good grades. And then I went to public school, and my grades just started to tank, and I was a little bit behind, I guess. And then I just struggled, and it was just always a chore for me. I was never a really good student. And then in high school, I actually got held back in the ninth grade, my freshman year, and that really stunk because I was actually playing golf, and I couldn't play golf anymore, and basketball, and it was a bummer. And then I got through it, and it was a struggle, but got through it, and yeah. So I didn't really. I don't like school. Thanks for asking that question.
Yeah.
Whoever asked,
Yeah.
do I even like school? No. The answer is no. I don't like school.
You don't even like
I'm a
school.
hands-
For digging
I'm a
that up.
hands-on learner. I don't. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Who knew the bot could press such a
I need-
sensitive heart? Man, I'm sorry
I
about
need some
that.
chocolate now. I'm really upset.
How about you, Shay?
Well, for me, I liked school for the most part. It's funny though, looking back, because I got diagnosed with ADD like later on in my life, like after college. And it's like, man, I wish I had known that back then because it would have made it so much easier. But I didn't like in school all of the stuff that wasn't applicable. That just felt like a waste of time. I hated that part of it. Especially in college, it's like I'm paying money to go take this like Zumba class because I need an extra credit, so I'm full time. Like that annoyed me. But yeah, for the most part, it was okay. But I'm glad I don't have to do any more school. I'm done. Tapped out.
Yeah, me too. I was Van Wilder without all of the big parties and everything else. I was in school for a very long time because I was just like, like with what I was doing, I was like, I could go to the first day of class, midterm, and the exam, and I can pass my course. And it was a horrible, horrible, horrible way to see it. But that's sort of what I did. And guess what? Half the time I passed, half the time I didn't. So it wasn't a good thing. So yeah.
Nice.
Once again, Shay, thanks for bringing up that very painful memory.
You're welcome. I try to have people remember their trauma. It's a good time. So that was my icebreaker question.
Right.
That's what I had.
So this is Shay's last episode with us, Smurf, or is
Hey, I brought a shot.
Fired.
Yeah.
I brought a shot glass. Okay.
You did bring a shot glass. Yes.
I drank my drink. You guys don't know what I had in it.
Yeah.
I'm not confirming or denying it was apple juice. Like I'm not, it could
Where's
be whiskey.
Dylan, come and smell this glass.
He'd be like,
he
loves whiskey.
Here. Don't look over to your side. All right. I think that was a good way to get the questions going, like with the deep, hard hitting bot questions that hurt us so. Yeah. But let's go to a nice question. What New Year's resolutions do you guys have for 2023?
So for me, I talked about in the first episode I had with you guys about I don't like that term too much, the New Year's resolutions, just because it has weird associations for me. But I think my biggest goal or New Year's resolution for this year is just dreaming. And I've been doing a heck of a lot of that. And the cool part is the dreams have actually started to turn into realities in a lot of ways. Who knew that when you dream, those things can come true? So that's been my New Year's resolution, and it's been going pretty well. It's been fun.
Very cool. The one I wanted to focus this year on mental health for myself personally. I've lost the weight. I've done the work. I had the surgery, but still want to take care of some stuff upstairs. So trying to hit that, that's a process, and I'm working on it. And then I want to quit smoking. I smoke a vape. And it bothers me that I do that I need that. I actually made a story today. I'm going to post it after, maybe tomorrow. But yeah, it just bugs me. I never needed it before, and maybe transfer addiction or something like that. But I really want to get down to the root of that issue and quit. But I noticed this is the first year. I think 2023 is the first year of my life that my New Year's resolution isn't to lose weight.
Yes.
And so that to me is like a huge celebration. I don't have to focus on that. I do have to watch what I eat still and make the conscious effort that I've been making. And it's a continued process. but I don't have to say, all right, I'm going to lose, X amount of pounds. That wasn't even a concern.
Nice.
So I'm excited for 2023 for that reason. And I can
That's
work on
awesome.
the other stuff now,
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. For me, I think it's just, I don't know, just keep working on all the stuff that has been like, I think I have so much momentum from the past couple years with everything going in the direction that it is. And I think it's just to continue that, right? Like weight loss surgery and everything that's come after that has been sort of like this big crescendo of all these amazing things that have happened. And it's just like, why take your foot off the gas now, right? Things are
Mhm.
moving in the direction that you want. Like this is, I'm living sort of that dream life that I've wanted to attain.
Mhm.
I created my goals, and it's just like, why stop? Don't
You
stop.
get to live in the
Yeah.
stability of it now. That's
That's it,
awesome.
right?
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing that I am enjoying about it is the fact that I don't feel like it's work. I feel like it's
Mhm.
life now,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
It's not like I'm trying to chase something anymore. It's like I'm just living content with everything that I have and everything that I've attained at this point with all my hard work. And so it's sort of like, all right, well, what's the next thing I can do? And happens to me, I signed up for the triathlon again with a whole bunch of bariatric patients. Oh, that was a guitar string or something.
Here's my furnace.
I'm like, are you okay? Are the
It scared me.
aliens
It
invading?
Scared me. Oh my God.
I didn't know it was that loud. Of course.
Yeah, I
Jeez.
just think, I just keep building on all the stuff that I've done, right? So D said, oh my God, same. I didn't even notice. Oh, he's talking about our intro that we botched. But
I thought he
hey,
was talking about the furnace.
the furnace, dude, furnace is scary, man. Furnace is scary.
That freaked me out.
We need to do like an instant replay on the replay, Rob, of Murph flinching.
I
Do
know,
a slow-mo.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna do
Oh,
that.
there you go.
There you go. There's one. All right, let's go on to our next question. And Murph, if you want, you can start off with this one. Biggest regret regarding your weight loss journey, if you have any.
Biggest regret regarding my weight loss journey. I guess the only regret that I have is that I wish I hadn't waited till I was on death's door to actually do something. Like I was really sick. My back was so screwed up. My whole life I thought I had lots of friends or people, and I'm not saying I have people that don't love me, but I feel like I made a lot of enemies. I feel like and so along this weight loss journey, getting started, it took too much of a push.
Yeah.
And that's scary to me, in hindsight, retrospect, looking back. And I hope I don't do anything like that again, ever. So I don't really live with regrets per se. I believe everything happens for a reason. We make our choices, we make our bed, we sleep in it, and you move on. But I think getting that close to dying was really scary, and I wish I would have done something sooner, because I could have been this happy sooner. I could have been a better father, a better husband. I could have been so much better, and I just wasted so much time on self-loathing and just being a jerk a lot.
Yeah.
And now I've got to make up for that, so if I have a regret, that would be it, I guess.
Yeah. Shay?
Yeah, for me, honestly, I don't have any regrets. Like I really try to be honest about stuff like that with myself and with other people. But like, I feel like I had done genuinely everything else I could to contribute to my health and to try, to achieve the goals I was going for. And I'm glad that I was able to get over the hump of my pride pretty quickly to go, no, like this is a tool. I want to do it. I want to jump in. Let's do it. So
yeah,
no regrets about it at all for me, thankfully, that I can think of right now, at least.
Yeah,
So.
no, that's good. Mine's going to be similar to Murph's, right? It's not even about the surgeries per se, but it's more about the whole journey and in regards to, you know, being a father and having, you know, my daughter was, I guess at this point, 6 years before I had the surgery, but it was also, you know, 10 years where I was living in this state for so long. And, you know, physically it's one thing, you know, what I can do physically with them, what I can do around them, where I can be, but it's also the toll it takes on you and your emotions and your personality. You had mentioned, you know, the type of father, type of person you were a jerk, you said, I think. Is that the word you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So same type of thing, right? Like you have no patience. You know, I was always in pain, always, every single day, and that's why when, you know, sorry, Mary, my wife, you know, sometimes she'll be like, "Oh, this hurts." I'm like, "Oh, it hurts. It hurts." I'm like, you don't know. And then she'll be like, "I gave birth twice." I'm like, "Yeah, you win."
Always,
Okay.
that always
You win.
wins.
Yeah, but that's it. For me, it was. I wish when my kids were born, I would have had that realization at that time that, hey, this is what I had to do. Because a lot of people, you know, they have high blood pressure. That's what they need. I'm going to go. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to get healthy. All that. For me, it took a lot more than that to sort of jump in and act, which I wish I didn't do. So
Yeah. I want to read D's because I'm actually going to steal his because I actually agree with that since I didn't really have a good one. Thanks for helping me out, D. He said, I regret blaming myself for being overweight my entire life. I had no idea what I was up against or that I needed such a metabolic reset. And I think that's such a good point because a lot of times when I'm like talking with people about the surgery, I'll say, you know, I hate calling it weight loss surgery because it has this weird connotation that that's the only reason you get the surgery done so you can eat less. And it's like, no, it's so much more than that. And what kind of helped me make the decision that it was a good decision for me was recognizing that my genetics were against me. Everybody in my family has struggled with obesity pretty severely. So I had that working against me. I didn't grow up like many of us learning about like proper nutrition, how to fuel my body. It was fad diets all the time. So I didn't even have any knowledge or understanding. When I got old enough to learn that stuff for myself and try to implement it, no matter what I did, I honestly was eating and moving and doing everything I could really, really well for probably about 1.5 to 2 years solid, where I can look back and go, wow, I really did a lot of stuff to contribute to it. But then when you don't see any physical representation or reflection of that, it is so darn frustrating. And then for me, and I think other people can relate, you start blaming yourself going, what's wrong with me? Like, why can't I just do it? People will go and eat and, you know, eat right and exercise and they drop 15 pounds. It's like, that was never anything that I could do. And so it's easy to get really down on yourself and have shame enter in that way. But understanding, no, I had so many things stacked against me. My body just needed a reset so I could make the decisions I wanted to, and my body now reflects it, which is really cool. So thanks for bringing that up, D. That's a great point.
Thank you, D. Also, Mary says, don't regret anything, Chris. You made the choice when you were ready, which I think is a big thing, right? And I've said this many times, and you know, I think that the biggest win for all of us is the fact that we've made that choice, right? I think people gloss over that part of it, and I think that is the most important part. It's making the decision to change and making the decision to better your life, and that should be the big celebration, right? So that's a big thing for me.
So so in Mary's in response to what Mary's saying, I guess I totally agree. I guess what I was trying to say is that I wish I had done something. I wish I hadn't waited till it was so bad. You know, it's just I wish I would have just had sleep apnea and been like, all right, I need to do something. Like you just said, you know, high blood pressure, you know, now I need to take care of myself. There were 15 different signs or reasons why I should have taken care of myself, and I ignored every single one. I mean, call it stubbornness or whatever, but you know, I just, yeah.
And that's a hard part too, because I think we get to a point where we know it's hard to teach someone something new. It's even hard to teach someone something new when they've been doing it for 30, 40, 50 years, whatever the case might be, right? We've known this lifestyle and these habits that may have attributed to us gaining weight and being obese we've been practicing that every single day for the past 30, in your case, because we're old, Murph, almost 40 years.
I wasn't gonna say it, but
I know, I
you
was
guys brought it
I was
up.
gonna put it there, but I was like, Shay's gonna call us out on being old. So let's go there. Yeah, but like that, these are things that we've been doing every single day, right? And it's hard to bust out of that and to break out of that. And that's why I always say, like, and that's what I said earlier, the decision is the big celebration, because that's the decision to go against everything we've been doing for so long and to make that change, right?
Well, and it's freaking scary. It's
Yeah.
scary. Even if you know that it's going to lend to good things, any type of big decision like that is scary. And that's why it's so easy for people to stay, in toxic relationships, even though it's just because it's a bad situation, there's still some level of comfort with the familiarity of it. And so it's scary to make a change, even if you know it's going to be a good one. So
Yeah.
it's part of it.
True.
Robert Elliott Fuller.
My dad coming in hot.
Thanks, Dad. Thanks,
Hey,
Pops.
Dad.
Way to go, you three amigos. We're working on it. And you know what? I'm glad that we are these three amigos now, because now we have someone who can chime in on a question like this, which would never have been asked to just Murph and I. Is it safe to get pregnant after having bariatric surgery?
I'll ask you and Murph and Rob, what do you guys think? I'm just kidding. You're like, I have no clue.
Sure. Totes.
I did it.
I did.
Yeah. So this was one of the big questions I had, because really what kind of got me to make the decision to get bariatric surgery was my husband and I had been trying to get pregnant for a few years. It wasn't working. I didn't have regular cycles, all of that. And so, I'm not a doctor. I'm not speaking medical advice. Go look up your own research. From the research that I found, there are quite a few studies that show that you can have healthy babies. You can have a healthy pregnancy. You can breastfeed. You can do all of that after bariatric surgery. So I'm really excited. I'll be kind of a guinea pig. I'm hoping that we'll get pregnant, when the time is right. But yeah, so I'm going to share that journey and that story when it happens. Hopefully it happens. So again, talk with your doctor. I'm not a doctor, but from the research I've seen, it is safe. And the biggest things that you have to be concerned with, again, looking at the research, is malnutrition and malabsorption for the baby, and sometimes premature delivery because of that. So that's why I'm really, we were talking on our happy hour about don't be afraid of food. We need food for our bodies. So I'm really prioritizing that. And I get excited when I can work up my calories for that purpose. And so when I look at the risks that I had prior to bariatric surgery, that's what really kind of, made me decide. It's like I was at risk for high blood pressure, for gestational diabetes, all of these other things, not to mention gaining more weight. Like my body was just going to be hurting if I did that. So again, that was my choice. Everybody has to make their own choice. Not a doctor saying that again, but go look at your research. There's some good research out there.
And the other thing too is I think you touched upon is the fact that prior you had all these other risks, right? And that's not even after you have the child, and the toll an obese person trying to care for a child. It's a lot of work. It's nonstop. And, this is from my point of view as a father, not even a mother, and how much my wife had to go through with our two kids. So definitely, for sure, I think there's sort of that trade-off. But the good thing also is, you had mentioned, you're not a doctor, you should ask your doctor. Good thing is we're going to have some doctors on our show over the next couple months. So you could definitely ask.
We can get their perspective. Yeah, it'll be better than mine for sure.
Jonathan Elias shared with us that he likes turtles. I love turtles.
I do too. Who doesn't like turtles? If you don't like turtles, I'd be kind of worried about
like the animal or chocolate or both. I'll take both.
What are chocolate turtles?
You don't have them in the States, just Canada?
Yeah.
Murphy
do?
Turtle?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
It's like chocolate with nuts in it, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a turtle. Yeah.
They don't have it.
And he likes our show too. Jonathan likes our show as well, he said.
Even
thanks,
better.
Jonathan.
Thank you, Jonathan.
And since we are talking about turtles, Let's link it.
How
to
are you
this.
going to loop this? Oh.
Can I
Yeah.
never have a DQ Blizzard again? Because they do have a turtle flavored DQ Blizzard.
Oh, okay. I think
They
I know
do.
what you guys are talking about now.
You're just
I think
saying
I'm
that.
tracking.
No, you don't. You
Like
just-
turtle,
No.
like turtle
Guys,
cheesecake. Have
I
you
wanna
never had a
be-
turtle
Or
cheesecake?
or like turtle brownies. I've had turtle
it's
brownies.
based on the turtles. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
All
So
right.
Made
this
from real
question-
turtles.
Full disclosure, this question was legit a
Was it yours?
conversation that me and Dylan had before I got surgery. I love DQ Blizzards, Dairy Queen, if people don't know what that is. And we literally, I laughed thinking about it. We were talking, he's like, this, like, if getting bariatric surgery meant you could never have a Blizzard again, like, how does that make you feel? And I'm like, I don't care. Like, I just want to get healthy. Even if I never have to eat a Blizzard again, I don't care. And it's just funny because, like, I had such a rigid way, I guess, of viewing how I thought my life would be after bariatric surgery. It's different for everybody, but I have had a Blizzard since having surgery. So that's how it's been for me. You know, some people I know talk about sugar being trigger, points for them and stuff. I just am able to do a little bit and I feel good. So that's for me. So you can have a DQ Blizzard if your body feels good with it. So
All things in moderation.
that's right.
That's it, man.
Do you guys do okay with sugar, or like what does that look like for you?
I crash. I get really warm. I can feel my
Interesting.
Oh, wow.
blood pressure kind of right. Like I know that I've hit my limit, but it's kind of like, it's like dumping, but not. I can just tell that I consume too much sugar. So I have to limit it. Before we got on, I had a small, like half of a coffee cup of ice cream, Moose Tracks
DQ
ice cream.
Blizzard.
I wish I could get a DQ Blizzard right now. But no, I had some chocolate Moose Tracks ice cream and after dinner, and it was just 2 small scoops, and just enjoy it.
Yes.
I savor it now. I just really enjoy it because I know I can't have a lot of it. But you can still enjoy those little things. Is the scale going to go up tomorrow? Probably not. Am I gonna die? Like, no, probably not. It's not that urgent of a, you can still have these things, but consuming them the way I used to. I mean, it would be 2 cups, full cups of, ice cream, or I just hold the whole pint and just, shovel it in. And so, you can still have these things. Same thing with like pizza. I got a pizza slicer, cut it right up the middle, have half a slice, half a breadstick, and then relax for a minute, but make sure you enjoy every single bite,
Well, and I noticed too, for me, it's like I used to eat to try to fill myself or like emotionally fill myself, because I just had a lot of issues and stuff I didn't sort through. And now it's like, whoa, is this what it feels like just to like other people, where it's like, oh, you're just eating to like sustain your body? Like that's just such a like new concept for me in a lot of ways. But it's like, oh, that's actually easy then to not eat more than what my body can handle, right? Like it just when there's not that same emotional tie to it.
Yeah.
And in 2 or 3 hours, you can have a little bit more again, and you're going to need to, and you gotta, you just, and I talk to my kids about this all the time. You just got to eat just enough to get you through the next couple hours, and then you'll be able to eat again. And it's, you'll have a snack, and then you'll have dinner, and then maybe another snack before bed. But you just, it's making that conscious effort of knowing that I'll be able to eat this again, or putting it in the fridge and going back for leftovers later or something like that.
Yeah, 100% agree. And I don't know if it's me because I'm almost 2.5 years in. Sugar doesn't bother me. Sugar does not bother me at all. The only thing really that bothers me is the speed at which I eat. Right. So, if I eat anything too fast, it's going to hit me. But again, like I think that was the whole point of the first couple of years, is to really train your body and deal with your understanding of how food is and your relationship with food, right?
Yep.
So exactly what Murph's saying. You don't need to eat the whole thing. I used to eat down a tub of Jamocha almond fudge.
Easy.
Right? No problem. And so now it's just like, I'll just down half the tub.
Yeah, there you go.
But that's the thing, right? Like you said it, Murph, it's moderation, right? Knowing you can enjoy things, but definitely enjoy it, right? Because you're not going to be eating it all the time. Right.
Couple comments too, if you guys want to hear other
Yeah.
perspectives too.
Yeah.
D had said that sugar's fine. His taste buds have changed so much though that he
Mhm.
doesn't want it too much. Things seem way too sweet now. I definitely find that, like, for some reason this week I was craving apple juice. I think just because my blood sugar was kind of out of
Yeah.
whack. And so I just
Mm.
add a little bit of apple juice in my big thing of water, and like that's good. I don't have to just drink the whole thing, right? Mary said sugar causes me to crave more, even though it makes me feel bad. So I prefer to
Mm.
limit it to once a week or once every other week.
Nice.
That's
And
smart.
then we had Jonathan say that he had sugar for the first time in 2 years Christmas week. Nice.
Wow.
And it sounds like he said it's kind of similar with Mary. It's like just limiting that. And then we had D that said, I'm ashamed to admit that part of my portion control so I don't graze has led me to throw away food. I offer it to other people first, then trash it. If not, I graze like a mule. Yeah. And that's kind of a thing that takes time to unlearn. It's like,
Mhm.
Don't waste food, but it's like, do the best you can. But,
Yeah.
it's not worth just shoving into your stomach and
Yeah.
making yourself sick,
And you'll learn
Yeah.
that too, right? Like you'll learn how much to make, how much to create for your family. Like,
Mhm.
so we do HelloFresh and we do a meal for 2. There's 4 of us, right? And that's just enough for us, which is
Mhm.
good. It works for us, right? But if we were sort of making our own meals, this is one of the reasons why we do HelloFresh the way we do, is because we used to just make huge amounts.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, I guess I'm on number 5, because it's like we don't want to waste it. Like in our
Mhm.
culture, is like you never waste food, right?
Yeah.
And
I
I'm
know.
still, oh, sorry.
No, go.
I was just going to say, I'm still learning that. I feel like I'm still
It's
kind
hard.
of in that learning phase. One thing that I'm going to try to do more of, because I love making soups, but it's like really hard. Or, I mean, I guess it's not really hard. I usually make big batches of soup. And what I'm going to start doing more of is like saving half of it to have for the week and then freezing half of
Yeah.
it. So I'm trying to do more stuff like that, because it is a different way of doing things for sure.
100%. And yes, Mary gives us all hope 10 years out, and she still looks amazing. 100%. She
So
does.
freaking
Absolutely.
cool.
Absolutely.
Let's jump to a next question.
And doing that, just real quick, Shay, practicing how to, like, for me, like, it's big. I can't get my words out. I'm sorry. Because I'm thinking of like 15 different examples. Just yesterday, we had one solo cupcake left on the counter and nobody was eating it. And I'm thinking, I'm not going to throw away this cupcake. So I have a sweet tooth. And so I practiced, and the freedom that you feel when you can just take a bite, and like I just stood over the garbage can, took a bite, and then threw the rest of it away. And that's
Yes.
something that I was never able to do before. I would have to shove the
Mhm.
whole thing in my face, and then the guilt would set in, and
Yeah.
then I would have an upset stomach or something. But there's a freedom in
Yes.
just taking that one bite. You want to know what it tastes like. You want to, you don't have to indulge that urge, but you can feed that urge just a little bit, all things in moderation, right? Take that one bite, and I threw it in the garbage can. And then I was like, wow, that felt, throwing it in the garbage can felt better than taking the bite.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, it was just so much better. I was like, why didn't I just throw the whole thing away? I would have felt even that much better, like,
Well, and
but it
it's
was still
because
good.
it's because you're operating from an abundant mindset versus a scarcity mindset. And I think
Right.
I can't remember who brought it up earlier, but kind of that idea, or I think Burf, you were saying what you tell your kids, like we eat a little bit now, but there's
Mhm.
plenty of food that we can eat later. So you don't have to
Right.
try to get it down. It's that same idea of knowing there's abundance rather than scarcity. And the way that we behave is it depends a lot on how we see things in that way. So good example.
Exactly.
Very, very good.
Daniel's in the house. What's up, Daniel?
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey.
BSG Dad Life.
Looking forward to meeting you, Daniel.
Yeah.
Blind
That's gonna be
blind
Blind
bromance
date.
date. I'm so
I
stoked.
hear we have a blind bromance date. I'm looking forward to it.
He said that he packages extras right away for leftovers. He puts it away and then he's less likely to graze,
Yep.
but it's still hard to not feel that guilt of wastefulness when
Yeah.
gotta throw stuff
For
away.
sure.
Same thing at restaurants, right? Like I always
Mhm.
order whenever we get our food, I always ask for a box right away, so I can put it away and not look at it because I know that if I don't, I'm downing that whole thing, and at the end, you're like, oh, everything's gone. Oh,
Mhm.
sorry, no one cheered for Jonathan. Hey, Jonathan, you're
Jonathan,
here.
what's up?
Hey, Jonathan. Sorry.
Right. I have an awesome question here. And this is a really good question actually because it links, I think, to your story today, Shay. And the question is, what has been the most surprising, unexpected outcome from having bariatric surgery? Because there's a lot of different things that you don't expect that sort
Mhm.
of have changed, right? So let's go to you.
Yeah, I just did a reel today about that on Instagram because I've just been surprised about quite a few things lately. One of them, so I was visiting my brother-in-law in Virginia this last week, and it was an awesome time, but we were doing just a lot of sitting and we just weren't really moving a whole lot. And in the past, movement equaled pain to
Yeah.
me. Now after losing weight, movement or lack of movement is what equals pain. And so that was really interesting coming back home. I was telling Dylan, my husband, I was like, gosh, my back is so sore. Like, I don't feel good. We ended up going roller skating with my brother-in-law while we were there, and it was a blast. And it was like just getting out and moving felt so good. And that's
Yeah.
the first time in my life where it's been like I'm craving movement. So that's been really an interesting unexpected outcome. And kind of along with that, I always thought that like when I had a smaller body, I would be like this swan who like just was like so graceful. And so I've been surprised to see like it's kind of clunky learning my body and like the
Yeah.
new capabilities it has. It's like, whoa, I can do that now. Or like it's just kind of funny learning that I feel kind of like a little kid. Daniel had said on my reel, he's like, it's kind of like you're a brand new baby giraffe. And I'm like, that is the
Right.
perfect way to describe it. So those are probably my top two. What about for you guys?
For me, it's similar in a way to that, but it's sort of, for me, it was seeing the damage that being heavy has taken on my body, right? Like I always thought that, I'm going to lose this weight. I'm going to be, I'm going to be mobile again. I'm going to be able to do all these different things, which I have been able to do a lot of it. But like my body is like fully ravaged from carrying 380 pounds for so long, right? Like my hips are messed up. I still have my herniated discs. My ankles are messed up. My knees are messed up. So there's a lot of work that I'm doing now, which I don't mind. Like I like the fact that I'm at that point, but a lot of work that I'm doing now to heal my body as opposed to
Mhm.
just get to the point where I can do these things. So that's been a big focus of what I've been trying to do a lot.
Along those lines, too, I'm curious for people in the comments, would you find it beneficial to have an orthopedic surgeon on the podcast to kind of talk about some of that? Because that's something, luckily, I don't struggle with, but I've heard that from a lot of people where they can even like develop scoliosis, like
Yeah.
just all these things that when you lose the weight, you still have those things within your body that you do have to heal. So I'm curious in the comments if people would be interested in having an ortho surgeon to kind of talk about some of that. So just
Yeah,
throwing
that'd
it
be
out
great.
there.
Yeah. How about you, Murph?
Yeah. So physically, I feel great. Surprisingly, and this has been a big surprise for me, is that I am able to. I was telling Shay earlier, I was skating circles around my kids when we went roller skating as well on our little vacation to Sandusky. And my son was calling me a show off, but I grew up on skates. I love skating, and so. But man, I'm skating better than I've ever skated before, and I'm doing things that I've never thought I'd be able to do ever again. But even better, and so that's kind of surprising to me that and it makes sense. I mean, I'm thinner. I weigh less now than I did in junior high, probably. Yeah.
We need to do a skating meetup. Wouldn't that be so fun?
Heck yeah.
I'm
sure there's a roller rink in Niagara Falls somewhere.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Hey. And that was actually the next question. Are you really going to do a Canadian bariatric meetup in Niagara Falls? That would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
And I'm going to do it. I'm going to call out Barry Nation. I'm gonna call out Jason. I'm gonna call out April. I'm gonna call out
That was their
Natalie.
idea, wasn't it?
I planted
Wasn't it
that
their
seed,
idea,
and they're like,
you know?
"Yeah, we have a lot
Yeah.
of Canadian people. It'd be great to do it.
Uh-huh.
We'll come up there." And I've been talking with April about it actually. But if they're down and they want to do it, and we have people who want to do it, and I know that there's a lot of people from the Canadian groups that I'm part of, I'll set it up, man. Wine tour. I set up wine tours in Niagara all the time. We will do a private wine tour. We would do private everything. It'd be a nice dinner, all
Yeah.
good sized meals. It'd be amazing. No, it'd be so fun. I think it'd be great. And it'd be great
That'd
to
be
get to
great.
meet everyone. I know that D is tapped out because he's gone to every single thing. But yeah, remember our Patreon, D, if you want to get
Well, and I don't know, we can get creative here, guys. Like we're such a big community. I wonder, I know other people have done like scholarships and stuff before, and I wonder
Cool.
if we could all pitch in a little, we can talk about it where if finances are an issue, I'd love to think about creative solutions to maybe lessen the burden or take the burden away. So don't count it out yet. Let's talk about it.
September 2023
is when you guys are thinking
it's going down.
All right.
Yeah. It's September. Sure. We'll say September. Hey, going back to the last question real quick, because mine was a two-parter, and Rob, you cut me off.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm just kidding. Because no, it actually ties into that question as well. The one of probably the most surprising, unexpected outcome from having bariatric surgery is the community that I found here. I found on Instagram, and wow, so many people just like me.
Yeah.
That think the same way that I think. I'm gonna try not to cry. That have the daggone it, you got me. No, it's just I felt so alone. I felt like I've been the problem for the longest time, that it's my fault, and all the things that we're talking about with Dee and Mary and Jonathan and everybody that's on here. It's just like, wow, you guys experienced this too, and now we have this commonality as well, where we've had the surgery to make ourselves better. So not only have we gone through the crap together, not together, but individually, and then we get together, we discuss said crap, and then now we're celebrating together, and we're enjoying life together, and we're learning these things together. It's been really mind-blowing, and where the waiting table is from where it was 5 months ago, having Shay on now, and finding other people that are as enthusiastic as us about these things. And yeah, I could go on forever, but that's why I want to get back to it, because now we're talking about a Niagara Falls trip, and like meeting up with other people. Like, this is just, my mind is just blown.
Yeah, I'm shocked by the community. I just never even knew that. I didn't even have that as a concept going in. Like, I've been so surprised by that. I do have to shout out my mother-in-law. Her comment here: "You can totally come, Amy, even though you're not Canadian." Amy was the one who encouraged me to get surgery because she had bariatric surgery too. So super thankful that I've had somebody to ask all my questions to, and she's been a huge support. So I wanted to give her a shout out.
You could be at the front of the bus with me, Amy.
Yes.
Definitely going. D has an awesome question I love. Do you all find yourself attractive now? Not in a vain way, but personally, I love the man in the mirror now. I'm so appreciative for the constant changes and improvements. I'm also more kind to myself. Yeah. Amazing question. And I love your answer, because you should be super proud of yourself and what you see in the mirror and the man you see in the mirror. I find myself attractive now. And I also love who I see in the mirror, because you spend so much time not really enjoying the person. And some people would even say hating or resenting the person in the mirror. And I know I did. And so when I look in the mirror, I don't just physically see the person. I see the person and all the work that I've done, and all the effort and all the sacrifices I've made to get to the person I am right now. And I absolutely love that person. So great question. And because of thighs too, right? Like I have some nice thighs.
You're making thunder thighs mean something different now. Like,
for sure,
like muscle thighs.
Oh,
or
damn.
thunder thighs.
That guy's creepy. That was
Nice.
creepy. Oh my god. How about you guys?
For myself, definitely. It's funny. It's like I just look more like myself now. Like,
Yeah.
and so I do find myself more attractive. And it's funny, like even it's more of like weird barriers and blocks in my head that I have to overcome in the way of I'll just give an example, it'll make more sense. But like I just got a bunch of new bathing suits. We're going to Cabo in February. And all my bathing suits were too big, so I had to get some more. And I got a few two pieces. If I ever wear two pieces, it's like I wear really high waisted. My girls out there will get it. And I got a couple though that actually show like my belly button. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I hate this. This looks so weird. And I was talking with Dylan about it. He's like, I think you look great. And I'm like, yeah, actually I do too. It's just like a weird mind thing where it's like for so long I was always trying to hide that. And it's like, no, actually, like I do like the way that looks. And like I think it's just getting over that shame hurdle and the lies that I've told myself for so long of like, and who cares? Like, I'm not trying to go and impress anybody. I have a husband, like as long as he likes it, as long as I like it, that's all that matters. So it's just interesting kind of working through that block of like, oh, I do like actually how I look. It's just, I haven't ever done this before. So it's just different.
Right.
So what about you, Murph?
Yeah, so this is one of those things, I guess, that I'm trying to work on in 2023 mentally. This is a big one for me. I've never really thought that I was attractive. I've always had a confidence from within that, you know, it's like a God-given confidence. You know, I've always been sure of myself, but I've never felt like I was attractive. And I still don't, and I still struggle with it daily. And when I look in the mirror, I don't recognize the person that I see, and I don't know if I like them or not. My face is different now. Everything's very different, and I'm still struggling with it. My body is different. My mannerisms sometimes are different. And I watch myself. I watch these, and I'm thinking like, oh, I do that. That's how my face looks when I talk. You know, it's very in my head, kind of weird. I compare it to like Quantum Leap. You know,
Yes.
like it's weird. It's just weird. I don't know how to explain it. I just feel like I'm in somebody else's body, and I don't know how to act, or how people think of me, or it's weird.
I'm curious. I'm putting you on the spot a little bit, Murph. What are some of the like voices or thoughts that come through your head when you're looking at yourself in the mirror? What do those sound like?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, that's just like the lines on my face. I've never had lines on my face before.
Yeah.
So I look at those, and then I smile, and I got these lines, and it's just like, is that sagging face skin, or is that just the way my smile has always been, and I never noticed it, and it's just accentuated now because there's not as much insulation there. So it's I don't know, it's just different. I just look in the mirror, and it's nothing super negative. It's just like, who am I? Who is this? You know what I mean? I feel like my change was just very, very drastic. I feel like I had results pretty quickly. And it's just, just from, I was talking to Mary the other day in private chat, just like we were both comparing back and forth pictures from 6 months ago, the difference and the change that we both made in our faces. And I guess I'm not comfortable with it yet. Trying to accept me for who I am. And it's not like I'm going to start eating again because I miss that old self kind of thing.
Right.
It's just, I just don't know what I'm looking at. You know what I mean?
It's different and kind of
weird.
clunky and weird. And it's kind of like that
It's
baby
weird.
giraffe syndrome, right? Like, oh, what is this?
Like, what is this? Yeah. I'm looking at my, like, what is this? It's just, it's just weird. It's nothing super negative or, it's just something I want to work on, for 2023. That's one of my goals.
And that's good too, because like realistically, like we said earlier, we've spent so much time as a specific person doing specific things. It was a very 1 year, not even a year, and you've made that big change, right? So yeah, it's going to take time to get comfortable with who we are and who
Mhm.
we've become. So definitely it is a challenge, right? And a lot of people in the comments are saying the same thing. Amy said, "I'm still working on this one. I really want to like what I see, but I still see a fat person most of the time." That is a big one. A lot of us still
Mhm.
do.
Mm.
We've talked about this, Murph. Sometimes you're in a specific situation, and I know I still get anxiety over certain things, even though I know I shouldn't. I know I'm going to fit in the seat on the plane. I know I'm
Mhm.
going to be able to
Mhm.
buckle my seatbelt when I get into a specific car that I haven't been in. But it is hard for us to get past that because that's what we've always known, right?
Well,
Yeah.
and I want to give a little context too, because sometimes I think just having words and language for things like that just make it feel more normal. And the reason for that is those have been big triggers for a lot of us in the past. And so when
Mhm.
we're reliving those experiences, our body is remembering all of those other times where it was really difficult to sit in seats, or we felt uncomfortable or whatever the situation is. And so it's very normal to have those same reactions and feelings, even though the environment is different, your body is different. We're still reliving those experiences from the past. And so, I just want to normalize that because it makes a lot of sense actually. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to call myself out on those things. I try to look at, um, like today, I was putting my socks on, and I had to like, I thought I had to put my foot up on the tub to pull my sock up, and that's not the case. I can just bend
Mhm.
over and just pull my
Yeah.
sock up. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? It's just like, why did I have to prop my foot up there? I
Muscle
can
memory,
touch my
baby.
Yeah.
I can touch my toes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
like when cars are parked too close together and I'm thinking like I can't get into my car,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
Mhm.
And then I have to say, no, I can. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
I can do this now. It's like retraining your whole life. Yeah, baby giraffe. I'm loving it. Yeah, the baby giraffe. The
When
I
you
love
try
very,
it.
very baby giraffe, Mary said.
when you go to tie your shoe, but you angle your leg so you tie it on the inside,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. That is that is
Yes.
so
Yes.
It's just
accurate.
like,
That's a
damn,
thing.
Yep.
I got
That's a
this
thing.
inner tie going on. I gotta throw it now.
I want to show this comment from D because I love it. I like to create my own happiness. When my stomach skin looks flabby in the gym, I boldly tuck my belly into my
That's it,
waistband.
man.
Instant happiness. Love it.
Mhm.
Hey, man, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. I love that. I love being able to tuck it in. I was just like, I was so happy when I could do that.
Yeah.
Weird things that make us
Nice.
happy. We
Yeah.
got time for a few more questions, and I like this one because it gets asked a lot. Do you have to work out after surgery? And I think this is different for everyone. Like
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
don't think you have to do anything, right?
Yes.
Everyone is coming from different points of view, different places in life, different physical abilities.
Mhm.
You don't have to do that, right? The main,
Mhm.
the surgery wasn't to, hey, you're going to get surgery so you can go to the gym. Nope. It was to help with controlling your relationship with your food and your ability to lose weight with that tool, right? So some people will go to the gym, some people will work out and do all these different things, some people won't, and they'll still get great results. But the main thing again is the goal of health, right?
Mhm.
You can get that without working out after surgery. Are there benefits to working out? 100%, but you don't have to.
Mhm. Yeah, and that's been really freeing for me, like, it's like exactly how you said it, Rob. I don't have to do anything that
Right.
I don't wanna do. And so for me, I don't really have a movement regimen yet, and I don't know if I ever will, but I just move my body when I feel like it. A lot of times too, I think as women, at least I didn't grow up learning that different parts of your cycle will bring different, things that you want to do. So it's like, when you're in your, ovulatory phase. Sorry guys if this is making you uncomfortable, but
No,
I'm just
no.
This is
learning
a
this
first. This
information.
is a first for the waiting
Yeah.
table.
Yeah.
Right, right. But when
You
you're in
remember
your
on
Do
that
it.
episode when we discussed this as well, Murph?
yeah, all the time you guys talked about this before me, right? But
Yeah.
I just think it's so important because it's just it gives so much more again, more language around it. But when you're on your ovulatory cycle, you guys know what that feels like, Murph and Rob. That's kind of the time when people tend to be, or women tend to be more like excited to get more movement in, to be more social. But then, you know, during the luteal phase, it's kind of like, oh, I kind of want to hunker down. I don't really want to do as much of that. So I guess just acknowledging that for myself has been helpful to go, oh, okay, that makes sense why I want to move a bit more. Or oh, it makes sense that I just kind of want to hunker down and I don't want to move as much, and just allowing my body to give me the cues, tell me what I need to do. That's been really helpful. So
I want to go to the gym. I want to work out. I think I've been to the gym maybe 5 times, maybe 6 since surgery. I've you know, being a dad, 7 kids,
Yep.
you know, we homeschool. I'm
Workout.
pretty busy. I work at the hospital. I get 20,000 steps almost every shift. When I work at the hospital, I'm constantly moving. You know, and lately I've been trying to pick up my kettlebells when I'm at home, and I feel, you know, like I've been sitting on the couch for too long, and I want to move. I want to exercise. I want to do these things. I feel like I'm very blessed and fortunate to have gotten the results that I've gotten without going to the gym. And so I guess, you know, to each their own, or, you know, I always say this, and I think Rob cringes when I do, but every body is different. Come on, Rob, come on.
No, you can't connect. I can't. I'm sorry.
God.
I tried.
Every body is different, and so what worked for Rob and what's working for Shay, you know, might not necessarily work for me, and vice versa. And so I want to go to the gym. I don't think you have to. I think diet is a big part of it, and mental health is a really, really big part of it.
Yep.
And then the gym, if you want to see quicker, better, leaner results, faster results, maybe I would say then go to the gym. If you really want to cut and you want to, you know,
if you want your arms to look like D's, then I think you have to go to the gym.
Go to the gym.
D is the new name.
Yeah. And for me, that's just, it's not fitting into my life right now. I've got 2 gym memberships. The hospital has a gym, and then we pay for a gym membership, and it's a topic of conversation between my wife and I. Why are we paying for this gym membership? You didn't even go. We had to have it. You had to get it. You said you'd use it. I don't know when, you know, in my sleep is the only time I can go to the gym.
And you know what? Different seasons call for different things, and that's okay.
Right.
You know, I think there's just so much shame before of like, oh, you have to work out. I have to work out to, you know, it's just coming from a shaming place. And Amy had said, you know, she goes through phases with working out, but when she makes it too much of a chore, she ends up rebelling. That's kind of how I feel too in a lot of ways. It's like, you know what? My body's just not into it this week. So I'm not, why force myself? That doesn't make sense to me, for me.
Yeah. All right. I think we got time for one more question, and this one will be dedicated to D. So this question was about loose skin, and he said he has lots to tuck still. And so this was a very, I think, broad question. Loose skin. This wasn't a butt, I don't think. But
no, I can kind of add a little more context too. I had somebody reach out to me and say, you know, that they were really concerned about getting surgery because of the loose skin. And is that something that should be a consideration when deciding if you should get bariatric surgery or not? So a little more expanded, I guess.
Right. And you know, I think that's a great question, because I think a lot, if not all of us, had that concern to some degree, right? And I think that is something to be concerned about, right? But like every part or every aspect of having bariatric surgery, I think it's sort of weighing the pros and cons and the balance of things for you, right? Is loose skin detrimental to your health, or can it be? Yes, it can, right? For some people, and that's why I know in Canada you can get it covered to get removed if it's causing health issues, right? But is that enough for you to not get bariatric surgery in the event that you have other comorbidities and other illnesses? That's where you're going to have to decide, right? I knew I would have loose skin. I think a lot of us, especially a lot of us that were, higher than 300, 350, Murph and I, close to 400 or up, we knew we would have loose skin. But like D, you just got to get that tuck down, right? And, the trade-off was definitely worth it. One of the questions was sort of that we didn't get to, but it was about, some of your different health issues that you've had. And did bariatric surgery help with that? And 100%, it's helped with every single one. Like the past 2.5 years for me, one of the goals was to be checking everything off. I wanted to get a full, clean bill of health, and bariatric surgery was one of the catalysts to get me to that point, right? And even if I did have some of the challenges with loose skin, if I didn't get skin removal surgery, it still would have been worth it for me. So for me, that is the way I would sort of approach it.
And for me, it's kind of a different perspective, just because my purpose of getting surgery is to get pregnant. And I'm actually really stoked that I have some loose skin. Like, I'm thankful that my body has that like around my stomach. So that way, when I get pregnant, it's not going to grow so fast and like get really itchy and just stuff I've heard from other people, so I'm actually really stoked that I have that. And then it's like, once I'm done having kids, if I want to, at that point, I'll get nipped and tucked and kind of get everything done at that point. But I'm actually grateful in that way. I think it'll serve me well. So I'm excited, thankful. It doesn't bother me, I guess, in that way.
We're learning a lot about your mother-in-law tonight.
Right? She wants that Brazilian butt lift covered.
Classic Amy.
So Rob, you've had skin removal, and I've been approved for skin removal. I just haven't done it yet because looking at your pictures of skin removal terrify me, and seeing other people's pictures, like
the actual skin or the scars afterwards.
Yes.
The whole thing.
Yes. I mean, it's just, it's
all of it. All of the above.
Yeah. It's terrifying. I'm at a bit of a standstill in the sense that Elise is in nursing school. I don't really have time to take off work, and I can't find a surgeon that my insurance would cover. And so I'd have to drive somewhere. And so I'm in no hurry. And, I had to buy like a really tight fitting, what's it called? Like an Under Armour type of shirt, because like shirt. It does. It's only bothered me in like when I'm running or trying to do things quickly. It's turns into a boat sail real quick, and I'm just like, it's like holding me back, and so it's a bit of an anchor in that sense. But I think it's par for the course. It's something that, expect it. Not everybody's is the same. I know I've, after watching shows and seeing other people that have been, I was at 464 and seeing people that were around that weight, they have significantly more skin than I do. So I've been very fortunate to not have as much skin, but it still is, it still affects me. Yeah.
For sure.
Groupon. What's going on here?
I'm organizing a Groupon for BBL for the Brazilian butt lift in September when we go to Niagara.
We'll go get some wine. We'll go get some wine. Then we'll go get a butt lift for all of us. Okay. I think that'll be great.
Yeah. I actually, I spoke with my surgeon. I don't know if I told you guys. I don't think I did. So I have revision surgery next Monday.
Oh.
Yeah, so
really?
It's just one area that it didn't open up during healing. It was just actually the sutures afterwards sometimes don't dissolve and they sort of stick out, and very superficially they open up a little bit. And I knew I scar dark, and so that area does look darker, and so my surgeon's gonna fix that up. And we're going to be talking about my nipples. So I wanted to actually, originally, that was part of my surgery, is because, when you do an abdominoplasty or a tummy tuck, they pull downwards. And so your nipples can be lower. So I was just like, no, I don't want low nipples. You got to raise those up. And when I started weight training, it actually needs to go a bit higher. So I'm having him raise them to where they actually should be with the amount of skin I have at this point. So he told me, yeah, you can't do any this time. Don't do any exercise for 4 to 6 to 8 weeks. So a long time for me. But one of the conversations we had was, I have a little bit of loose skin in the upper area still, and I'm fine with it. I just, for me, like the amount of work I've put into it and where my body fat percent is, I was like, I would love to have a friggin' six pack at this point, because I think I can if I didn't have that extra skin. But I would need a lot more surgery. I'd need a lot of the skin on my back to be removed as well. And I am not willing to spend another $15K for
Yeah.
it, maybe. And yeah, at the end of the day, it's my back, and I don't see my back all that much, so I'm fine with it.
Question with that, Rob, did you have a plastic surgeon do that, or was it your bariatric surgeon? Because I think some bariatric surgeons do it also.
Yeah, it was a plastic surgeon that did it. Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, really cool guy. I want to get him on the show. I'm going to be talking with him soon to answer all of your skin removal surgery questions. But yeah, for me, it was important for me. Arms, legs, back, everything. And now I'm starting to nitpick, right? Like I don't have a lot of skin, but I'm just like, and my inner thighs, I'm just like, imagine them thighs if I got rid of that skin. But yeah, no, it's just nitpicking at this point, right? And we all start looking at different things that we can try to clean up and get fixed. But at the end of the day, it's just like, is it worth it? You gotta decide. Some things may, some things may not. So
yeah.
Please do, Rob. Which one?
Crowdfind for your new back and butt.
We don't have Crowdfind in Canada. What is crowd? Is that like Groupon?
I know. I'm like, I don't know what that is either.
They don't have it on the West Coast either. Where are you from? Oh, crowdfunding. Yeah, pay for my BBL. Come on, guys. I think I could totally get people to. No, I can't.
We'll do a donation jar, donation tip jar.
Surgeon on the show. Yeah, for sure, Mary. Yeah, we definitely will get. I think it'd be awesome. I think there's so many questions out there for a lot of people. And I know that after I had my surgery with him, a lot of people did reach out and book with him, and they had their surgeries done with him afterwards, and they were very happy with it. So for sure, we will definitely look into those things. We have some more questions, but I would love to see if anyone else, any of our company here at the table, has any questions they want to ask before we sign off. This was a super fun show.
Well, do you guys want to talk at all, just to kind of give a little taste, if you will, on some of the specialty guests that we have coming on? Like we maybe don't want to give away all the details, but I know there's some fun ones we're working on. We got a primary care doc who's been a primary care doc for over 30 years who's going to come on with us. We have some fun bariatric influencers coming on. Who else? Who am I missing? We have one pretty well-known doc that we're in talks with that would be really cool.
We have some family coming on.
Yeah, some family.
Some family members.
Yep, we have a bariatric therapist that we would love to come on the show, because I know, when I've had a discussion with her, and I've said this previously, I think therapists should definitely be a big part of the whole bariatric journey, because again, this is years and years of us having these thoughts and habits and things that have affected us that we need to work on. So I think that's important. You mentioned the primary care doctor. We have, I just did a podcast, as mentioned, with a nutritionist, a dietitian who works specifically with bariatric athletes. I would love, we have so many really, really active people who take part in our show, like Mary and Dee and everyone else. And I would love to have her on, because she is amazing. We got a lot of really cool things. Like when I look at these next 3 months, I am super, super stoked.
We have Daniel. I don't know if Daniel's still on, but we're going to do The Boys Take Over with a bromance blind date. That's going to be so fun.
Yep.
And then we'll do a girl.
Going to be.
Oh, go ahead.
Daniel's going to be co-hosting. You're not going to be here, right, Shay? So it's just.
No, I can't. I need a break from you smelly boys, you know?
Yeah, I don't blame you.
No, I'll be in Cabo, so I'll probably tune in to watch, but Yeah, I thought it'd be fun for a boys one. Then we'll do a girls takeover at some point too, and kind of just do some new things. It'll be fun.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, see, D can't wait for that. See, it's like a boys' sleepover.
Yeah.
We're gonna be in pajamas. It'll be great.
Oh, that would be so fun. You guys should.
Good idea.
100%. All right. No, guys. Ouch.
Come on,
Okay,
everybody fill the comments.
Okay,
fill the
last
comments.
question. Last question for everyone. Do you guys like that? Is that something that you guys like?
Is that the question?
That is
You guys
100%
like
the
that?
question. Is it?
You guys
is
like
it?
that?
Like, I don't know.
Everybody's doing it, Rob. Everybody's doing
They
it.
can. Like the bottom parts can, but then they don't. And
It's
then
kind
they
of
just-
like a muscle. You have to
Yeah.
ask D what training to do in the gym
Right?
to practice to
Yeah.
work that muscle. You
they
know.
can't get close enough, and then they just end up going. Like, I don't know. I don't have those muscles yet. See,
Oh,
he's gonna be
see?
heart sibling all day. Jason.
what's up, Jason? Okay, Jason is going to
Jason.
be the one who decides. He has no idea what we're talking about. Jason,
Oh,
what are your
no.
thoughts on this? Do you like it or not? Just say yes or no, and that will be our decision.
Jason?
Jason is the one who decides.
Come on, Jason.
If you do like
Well-
it, give us
No.
give us some hard hands. If you do like it, Jason.
Come on, Jason. Come on, Jason. He like just has us on in the background. He's like,
Jedi mind.
wait, what?
trick me, Jason.
Turn on the
Amy-
sexy time music.
Oh,
is-
damn.
Amy's got it. Amy likes it.
Amy's in.
Yes,
Oh,
Daggone it.
Jason.
Jason.
Jason. Thank
All right.
you.
We're gonna
Jason
have to. We're gonna
in
have to ask
Niagara.
April
Unfollowing.
and Natalie.
Unfollow the
Unfollowing Jason.
Jason, I am buying you drinks in Niagara. Oh, I don't know if you caught it a bit earlier.
Andy likes
Uh,
it.
Andy. Jason, September, it's gonna happen. Niagara
September.
for Berry Nation, the waiting table, our whole community. We're gonna do something. And you're gonna be there.
He's like, why did I come
You're
on
gonna-
here?
you're gonna
We're
be
just
there,
calling him
yeah.
out.
And you're gonna be there. 100%.
Jason, you there? Jason, you still?
No,
you
you
still
gave the
there?
best answer. 100% the best answer, Jason. Me and you are kindred spirits, Jason. And he's in. See?
Sweet. All right, guys. September then.
All right. And you
Sweet.
know what?
September.
There is no better way to end the episode than with Jason saying he is going to be there.
Yes.
Thank you
Perfect.
guys very, very much. That's all the time we've got for tonight. And thanks so much for joining us on the Waiting Table Podcast, where we're serving the weight loss community.
1 pound at a time.
Bye, guys. Thanks for joining. Have a good night. We'll see
See
you
ya.
next week.
No.
This
Bye,
is the new
guys.
dance move.
That's a horrible dance. Oh, D, tonight was amazing. I love it.
That was great having Dee and Meg